And Mr. Brown, what was the specific situation that made you start to think about fixing and improving on your credit score?
The situation that made me start to think about repairing my credit was I had actually gone in and applied for something and was turned down. But I realized it had been nearly a decade since I really checked into any of my reports or anything. I was accustomed to paying things cash, so I didn't understand the importance of being vigilant with it.
Okay. And what would you say specifically was on your credit, very briefly, what was specifically on your credit that was lowering your score?
Oh, after 10 years, everything. It's too much to list, too much to name.
A couple things like late payments, collections, things like that?
It was things that were derogatory, things that were people that had the same name, that were late, there were credit cards. I was in the hospital a few times, so there was some medical stuff, things that I just didn't realize would stay on the credit, or it even hit my credit, because I did not take the measures to check into it. So it was completely my own doing. But once I was declined on something and got involved with it, I said, wow, I need to get an agency to help me with this.
Okay, and how long would you say you waited before you actually took action?
I waited probably under 12 months because I had other things going on, and I was trying to kind of shop different credit repair agencies, and I went in and interviewed with a few places local. It was very expensive. Everyone wanted a really high premium up front to even get started. And I was leery about, putting all my personal information out there in someone's hands because of identity theft and the rest of it. So it took me a little while before I jumped on board. I actually responded to an ad that was texted to me on my phone, responded to it. One of your representatives contacted me.
Okay, so it sounds like you had some fears about the process of getting your credit score worked on before you actually did it. Am I right? Like most people?
Yeah, that would be an accurate statement. Well, more hesitations. I wasn't afraid of it because my reports were so bad. No one would want to have stolen it to be me. So that it had its own plus and minuses. So no one would have assumed my identity with the credit like that. So
and nobody wants to steal your identity when you got bad credit, right?
I'm telling you, they sure don't.
I hear you on that. What was it specifically that made you to choose to work with us?
I had come across you guys' names a few times in my inquiries, and the fact that your rep contacted me pretty quick after I responded to the email, and once the representative contacted me, he was very clear on the process and what the breakdowns were and how much it would take, and it was very realistic in the amount of time that he quoted me that it would take place. A lot of people are misled. They think, okay, I'll drop a certain amount of dollars, and they'll get right on this, and it'll be okay in 2 or 3 days. It didn't take 2 or 3 days to mess up your credit. It's going to take a whole lot more than 2 or 3 days to fix it. Realistically, 30 to 45 days, what I would say to anybody trying to utilize an agency to help them repair that situation. You got to be realistic because even the reporting agencies could take that long. It could take up to 30 days just to respond to all the inquiries that are being sent out from the group.
That's definitely true, Kevin. Definitely right. Was there anything particular that you liked about the service that sticks out in your mind?
It happened the way that I had hoped it would, and the things that I was told on the phone came to be. So
good.
That took a lot of my concern away.
Good.
Nothing like seeing it happen.
Definitely. Do you feel like you're on your way to achieving your goal, and what is your goal?
Yeah, well, my goal would be to be over 700 in credit points. That would be fantastic. I'd like to have a high 7 or mid-range 7. And I'm well on my way. Versus where it was 3 months ago, I had allocated myself like 4 months doing this because the amount of stuff creditors that would come to my attention once the
Gotcha.
reports got sent out. So
Any
it's
idea?
good. It's good.
Definitely. And any idea where your score was in the beginning, more or less?
Was in the horrible range. I know they ranged from 320 to 844. Mine wasn't even on the charts.
You weren't even on the charts?
Bad.
Wow. Okay.
It was bad. It's been neglected for a long time, so it was bad. And I'm
Were
not
you-
ashamed to say it.
No, it happens to a lot of people, including myself. Where are you trying to get it to?
Go ahead. I'd like to be in the sevens. The 740 would be fantastic. Anything over 740 would be magnificent. But
Final question for you here, Mr. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sure.
Final question here.
Sevens would be fantastic.
Great. And the final question here. What would you say to anyone thinking about working with our program and working on their credit score with our program? What type of advice would you give to anyone out there?
I'd say be realistic. No matter who you go with, give them a call back after the 30 days and be a part of your own repair. Get your information, your paperwork sent and faxed over to them the way that it needs to be in a timely manner so that you need consultants to get back to you in the timely manner. Visit us online at www.mycreditlocker.com.